Hey everyone, thanks for coming. We're super excited to kick off ICCF tonight and welcome our Belgian collaborators and friends. I'm Zoe Metcalf-Claw. I'm with Brick & Wonder. We're a global design collective, and tonight we're going to discuss the role Belgian design has played in shaping global architecture. Before we start though, we just want to give a quick thank you to ICCF Night Out and Interni Magazine. Thanks so much for your support. And I'll just start by welcoming our panelists. They all came in from Belgium today. So, round of applause. And there will be some time at the end of the discussion for a short Q&A, so please hold on to your questions. We'd love to hear them. So first here we have Damien Van Hout, the founding principal of Govert Van Hout Architecture.
Yes, we are located in Bruges, Belgium, an old medieval city. And we are, our office is in a big space of nature. So in main, we love to put abstraction in our architecture, and we are a fan of the American abstract expressionists like Donald Judd, Rothko, Ellsworth Kelly. So you know. So and another part is. We have a kind of experience with historical buildings also. So by doing this, you have a kind of respect for the old architecture. This brings a new something, new contents to the new architecture also. So this is an important. So we did some Fort Napoleon, then also Cistercienser barn of the 1500 into an art center, and also the Tynecott Cemetery is the biggest cemetery of World War I, and we had to put a pavilion. So and the modest way we did this integration was also we won a lot of prizes with that. And then the last thing in our architecture, we built also many corporate buildings for people like Gregory, and so manufacturing buildings. So we have contacts in all. We did with Delta Light the architectural lighting. So also we had a firm who did the concrete. So we developed together a big prefab. So every time when you have a client, you get more knowledge about materials, and you try to push them further and further, so to stay still, that it's still okay, but you want to push everything. It's kind of challenge every time again.
Wonderful. And then we have Greg Min. He is the founder of Belgica and Woodstocks.
Yes, so I'm not an architect, so I'm a manufacturer, so we make architecture wood products such as wood flooring, we do wall coverings, we do veneer panels for cabinetry, we do doors, we do ceilings. So we work together with the MADERA team for 4 years now. We enjoy it a lot. I personally enjoy coming to New York and also LA then. We manufacture everything in Belgium and send it all over the world. We export to more than 40 countries, and we work together with architects every day.
Wonderful. And then last but not least, we have Simon de Bourbrey, the founder of Simon de Bourbrey Architecture.
Yes, hi. I'm Simon de Bourbrey. I'm the founder and the owner of Simon de Bourbrey Architects. We are an architecture firm who does interior. We are a small group of 8 people who are very passionate about architecture, and we do high-end residential buildings in Belgium and Europe and so on.
Awesome. Well, we're so happy to have you all here. And I think a good way to start off would just be to talk a little bit about the way that you all got into design and kind of how you've seen that shift as time has gone on.
Yeah, I was always, when I was a child, I was always drawing and fantasizing about. It started with cartoons, and then it developed into something more serious. So I studied architecture, and I had a lot of contact with artists during my studies. I also study sculpturing. So with someone who has a long time been in America. So I always was driven by having contact with artists and with creators, because I am a creator, so it's a kind of drive, a passion, a life passion.
I started out architecture because I had a deep passion for classical architecture. I thought that everything in Belgium, there are a lot of cities who are very classical, like Bruges, Ghent, and it's very interesting how they are built, the history behind it. So that influenced me in becoming an architect, and it's very interesting of how it evolved, like modernism, Art Deco, and so forth. It was very nice to see the whole evolving thing in Belgium. So that inspired me and to become an architect and to make new things and to see the old things and make new things of it. So that inspired me.
Wonderful. And Greg, can you talk a little bit about your influence? I know that you're from Flanders, Belgium, and there's some very specific practices there. Can you talk a little bit about how that influenced you?
Yes, of course. So first of all, as you might know, Belgium is one of the smallest countries in Europe and maybe also the world. But we have a very big industry in Belgium. Also, the well-being of the people is we live in very high standards. So our company, we have like the second biggest port in Europe also. So that's also a big influence in Belgium. So we're in the northern west part, that's next to the French border. I will not tell you the whole story of or history about Belgium, but there was 2 wars, world wars. And then during the second one, after the second one, our part where we lived was like completely ruined. So because there was Germans fighting against French, and then there was UK guys also, so we were like in the middle. So the whole part was gone. So we needed to build up everything again, we needed to fight. And we had like, in fact, a river called the Leie, and then afterwards was called the Golden River, because a lot of flax was after the So a lot of people started with growing flax then for textiles and carpets afterwards. So, and this river ended up in the port of Antwerp. But our region where we are was becoming a very wealthy region after World War because of that flax. And then later on the flax was made for flax panels, which is wooden panels and so on. So that's the reason why we are there. We started with flax, then textiles, then wood, and a lot of very big companies are in our region, very, very big companies. We are small, so we needed to export because you cannot sell in Belgium, you cannot live off selling only in Belgium. We speak 3 languages in Belgium, standard, because we are borders with France, UK, Holland and Germany, so we all speak 3 languages, which helps in exporting. And we have the second biggest port of Europe, so that's why this region where we are is so big.
And can we talk a little bit about how a country, as you were saying, it's just very small, like Belgium, has become so recognized in recent years for their design aesthetic and innovation?
Yes, it's not recently, because the whole movement started already 35 years ago. So in the end of the 80s, there were different disciplines. You had at one point you had architecture, and the education of architecture became at that time, there was a kind of revival of Le Corbusier, and so from that some new modernism was being created, and they were a little bit against, in Belgium, they are a little bit against the Dubai architecture or the World Expo architecture. So we searched for other, like Alvaro Siza and so on. So the integration ones, so the ones with really contents. So there's this movement. There was also at the same time some interior designers who made nice furniture, like Maarten van Severen, very well known because he worked also for Vitra. And he worked together with Rem Koolhaas. So he was also inspired by Donald Judd, for instance. So and then there was also, out of architecture, there were also some other movements like the fashion, Antwerp 6, they called them. So there was a kind of conquering the world with 6 persons in fashion. So this, and also Mr. Vervoort, who had his castle, he was an antique dealer. But it was amazing to see his castle because he combined contemporary art with old art, and also in his chateau. So the combine of historic spaces with modern art. So he was really well known for that. And so all those different movements, those disciplines, is a kind of mixture, is a kind of base what has become after. So and then the generation of us and also Vincent van Deuzen, they put a second wave in a kind of way. And from there on, there are also the new generation coming. So, and I think this typical Belgian disciplines of everything, kind of lifestyle, which is based on functional and also very simple things, very straight, very not without redundancies. So that's a little bit what is typical of this Belgian design movement.
Do you think the rest of the world is recognizing it more now than they were in the past, or at least outside of Europe?
Yeah, I think Belgian architecture is something that is more and more is coming to America. It's like a hot topic here. Because also I think the authenticity of Belgian architecture is something that you see a lot, like Van Deuzen and Axel Vervoort. They use really authentic materials, they use authentic techniques, it's something that is not seen so much, I think, in here in the States, and it's something very interesting, something very new, I think. So that gives, I think, Belgian architecture a special turn, a special thing. Yeah.
That's really exciting. It's exciting to, I'm sure, to be in New York for ICCF and to see, your work recognized here as well. Yeah. Can any of you, and whoever likes to speak first, talk a little bit about how you see Belgian design evolving?
Well, maybe I will start, because I have an international public. So for the people who might not know Vervoort or Van Deuzen, they are like Belgian architects who are working for the Hollywood stars, like the Kardashians. It's not the Hollywood star, but stars to me where they live, I don't know. But like Kanye West and this Jason Statham, so they are becoming famous because they work for the famous. Typically about their style, like Simon is telling, it's very serene. If you see the architecture, it's not too much. Like Damian was mentioning, you have we call it the Dubai style. It's like a mixture of all the most expensive materials in one house, lot of colors, and when you come in, it's like a war to you. It's like too much. So typically to Belgian architecture is like natural materials, like natural stone, wood, which is good for us. And then to the walls, you have like techniques with lime. Based on chalk, and they do very nice things, and when it all comes together, it's not very neutral palette of colors. It's very serene, it's simple, and it's timeless. When you see it now or within 30-40 years, it still look like it was done yesterday. So that's what if international public comes to Belgium, they like it because it's simple, it's
like a calm sanctuary.
Yeah.
It's like really a sanctuary where people can come to peace and to a sort of a calm. That's totally the opposite of Dubai. It's a style of I don't know if it's a style. Dubai. Yeah, I love Dubai, but it's the serene feeling that is very important.
But if you put the cars of the Dubai into this architecture, it's still more amazing. You have this kind of a kind of Zen architecture in a way of very calm, and then if you can put artifacts like art, there's very nice dimension extra. Even cars, if you put them in this kind of sober architecture, it's really matching.
So, and if I can still answer your question, how it will evolve, I think it will become more and more. Like I was saying, people that come to us, our showrooms look like this, serene showrooms where the wood really stands out. And all of our customers, they want this kind of showrooms in their country.